Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Pour Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright? Now look, so for this one, I'm gonna be telling y'all about when I used to work at this pizza place called Bob's Pizza in my neighborhood. And some guys tried to rob me, but I ended up robbing them. Alright? So first off, let me start it from the top, how all this even came about anyway, right? Now, I told y'all I used to work with my uncle cleaning out the houses and shit, right? So by the time I turned 18, I worked with him from the time I was 12 until I was 18. So I worked with him for what, 6 years? You know what I'm saying? And in between that, I was in the streets, gambling, flipping phones, selling Cartier glasses. I had multiple hustles going on, you know what I'm saying, growing up in my teenage days. So now I turned 18, right? It's time to do something different. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up quitting working with my uncle. Right before I had quit, I had bought my first car for $480. It was a Delta 88 Oldsmobile. I had bought it on some fluke shit. Boom, I got a car now. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, with that being said, I got off work with my uncle one day. This was like one of the last few days that I worked with him. So I'm just riding down my hood, 7 Mile, right? I'm like, man, I got to find another job. My uncle ain't paying. I need to do something different. I got to figure something out. So while I'm riding down 7 Mile, it's this pizza place in my hood called Bob's Pizza. And everybody from the D know about Bob's Pizza. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, while I'm riding past Bob's, I seen they had a sign in the door saying they need drivers. And it was 15 an hour for the drivers, right? So I'm like, oh shit, 15 an hour, you know what I'm saying? That's some good money. Back then, that was '07? You know what I'm saying? Back in '07, $15 an hour was like $30 an hour. You know what I'm saying? So I busted U-turn right in the middle of something. Hold up. Pulled up in there, right? I go up in there. I talked to Bob himself, the owner. And me and Bob, we got cool as hell. Bob, my guy. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I went in there. I talked to Bob himself, right? He like, you got your license? Woo. I'm like, yeah. He like, you got a car? I'm like, yeah. He like, well, let me see your license. So I gave him the license. This was way before all of that. They was on insurance and all of that, and this in the hood. So basically, all he was looking for was a license and a car. My license could have been suspended. It wasn't like he ran a check on my name or none of that. He just wanted to make sure I had an actual license card. You know what I'm saying? But my license was valid, just to say, like, he didn't do no whole background check or none of that. He just looked at my license card. He saw my car in the parking lot. He like, all right, cool. It was like, you hired. He like, you can start tomorrow. Big. So I instantly quit with my uncle. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. I'm about to do this Bob's Pizza shit, right? So the next day, I go to Bob's. Mind you, I'm new to this shit. I don't know nothing about, driving or none of that. I done drove a couple cars in my teenage years, but I wasn't no driver like that. You know what I'm saying? And I bought my first car because I just got tired of, waiting on people and shit like that. And I'm 18 now. I got my license. Boom, boom. So at this time, I'm not no good driver. You know what I'm saying? I just know a little mediocre driving, shit like that, right? So when I get to Bob's, all of the drivers there was running laps around me because they was experienced drivers. All of them guys, they was like 30 and up. You know what I'm saying? I was 18, so I was the youngest there. All of that, inexperienced, all of that shit, right? So the way how it went was, I was a delivery driver, right? So the way how it went was the deliveries would be on this computer screen. And basically, you got to log in. When you log in, your name will be like in a little box on the left-hand side. It's like 3 columns. You know what I'm saying? The left-hand column is you checking in. The middle column is the actual delivery. So you click your name, you click the delivery, and then you click check out. Them the 3 columns. You know what I'm saying? When you check it out, that means the order is ready and you ready to go ahead and deliver it, right? So I'm in there learning the ropes, seeing how everything go. Well, it's this white guy named Kerry that worked there. You know what I'm saying? And Kerry, he was about that life. Kerry looked like Jim Carrey. You know what I'm saying? But he was about that life, man. He kept his 40 on him. He kept a full clip. He kept one in the head. Every time he came in from a delivery, he'd set his shit on the table, let it be known, I ain't playing, I rock some shit. And this a white dude with glasses, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kerry was about that life, you feel me? Kerry been working with Bob for like 10 to 15 years at that time. So he was very experienced there doing that shit, right? Well, Kerry was watching me because he knew I was new. I'm young. I really don't know shit. I'm just there trying to get some money. You know what I'm saying? So Kerry was watching the deliveries I was doing. He was telling me, how to get to different places, things like that. Now, mind you, this before Google and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So you manually had to find the addresses. You know what I'm saying? The good thing of it was the addresses was like all in the hood. You know what I'm saying? The delivery range wasn't as large as like DoorDash or nothing like that. It was like a 3 square mile radius, north, south, east, west, and it was mainly in the hood. Now, with the hood addresses, all the addresses is pretty much the same. They just different blocks. So an address be like 19421 Evergreen. You know what I'm saying? And then the next street, 19421 Plainview or something like that. It'd be the same addresses but different blocks. So when you learn the addresses and you know where the blocks sit, boom, you in the game. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So I had to learn that. I had to learn the addresses and, things like that. Well, while I'm learning the addresses, I think I'm about 2 or 3 deliveries in. I'm doing pretty decent. Kerry watching me, cool. About the 4th or 5th delivery in, right? I get a delivery to a project in my neighborhood. They was called the Vulture Base back then. They didn't knock it down and rebuilt it. So it's some whole, what can you say? It's a whole new building complex going on. It ain't nothing like what it was back in the day. Back in the day, it was a real project. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I had a delivery into that project, into the Vulture Base, right? I came in off of my last delivery. I'm ready to get to the next one. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to go ahead and hurry up and click that motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? So I can go run it. While I'm doing that, while I'm going to get the delivery to clock it out, Kerry standing there looking at the board. Like, he like zoomed in hard looking at that delivery. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking he on some jealous shit because maybe that house, tipped good and maybe he was mad because he didn't get it before I got it. This is what I'm thinking in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Man, I get the delivery over there to the table. I'm putting in the hot bag, right? While I'm doing that, Kerry like, this address, I don't like that address. He like, you know what? I'm going to follow you, because he like, I don't like that address. I'm like, all right, cool, So I get in my car, I go to deliver, he get in his car, he followed me over there, right? So we get over there, I pull up, he pulled up behind me. He like, go ahead, walk up on the porch. Now the porch that I had to walk up on, it had these 2 big ass bushes, right? So he like, when you get up there to the porch, I'm gonna shine a light on you, so he like, you see a light, flashing. He like, it's me. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not thinking nothing of it, but Kerry know a little better than me because again, he been doing this shit for a long ass time, I go walk up on the porch, right? He shined this big ass light, like one of them cop lights, like the cop cars on the light that they flash on you. He had one of them kind of goddamn lights, you know what I'm saying? So when I get up on the porch, bing, big ass light flashed on me, you know what I'm saying? I got this big ass like spotlight on me, like I'm on stage and I'm about to perform type shit, you know what I'm saying? So with that light flash on me, I see 2 niggas in the bushes. One in one bush, one in the other. I'm like, man, what the fuck? Them niggas came walking up out the bushes, and that light had flashed. So they walk out the bushes, they go walk down the street and shit. After they walked away, I'm knocking on the door and shit. Ain't nobody answering, right? So Kerry called me back to the car. He like, come on, come back. I'm like, what? What's up? He like, you seen them guys just come out the bushes? Mind you, this is Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just used to niggas being everywhere. And it's the projects, whatever. He like, nah, they was about to rob you. And he was like, that's why I followed you, because it was like, this is a abandoned address. Don't nobody live here in this complex. You know what I'm saying? Well, not complex, in this unit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, straight up. He like, that's why I put that light on you. He was like, when I put that light on you, seen they came out the bushes, then everything started making sense. I was like, damn, they was gonna rob me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thanking him like, damn, that was clutch, blah, blah, blah. Me and Kerry locked in after that. I didn't even like Kerry before that. You know what I'm saying? But he basically saved me from getting robbed. So me and Kerry was locked in after that. You know what I'm saying? Well, now I'm about maybe a couple of months in at this time, right? I get a delivery to a house in the hood, right? Mind you, I know the addresses by now. I'm in the mix. I'm getting money. I'm used to this shit now. Kerry don't got to watch my back or none of that. I know what the fuck going on at this point, right? So I get a delivery to a house in the hood, right? They order like $50 worth of shit. It was like 2 extra large pizzas, a cheese bread, crazy bread or whatever, couple of pops, some shit like that. Shit came out to like $50. Now back then, this was before all that automatic pay over the phone and all of that. The way how things went back then was you called in the order and you say, hey, I want blah, 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 blah. And they be like, okay, do you want it delivered or you gonna pick it up? And if you say you want it delivered, they'll tell you the price over the phone. They'll, take your address and all of that. And then they'll say, all right, well, it'll be there in about 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So basically, by the time the driver get to their house, whatever the total is, if it's $50, the customer got to get the driver the $50 right there, and then the driver give the customer the food. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes they tip, sometimes they don't. But the whole objective is to get the money for the order. You know what I'm saying? You still gonna get paid for the delivery anyway. It's just that, a tip will be extra, things like that, right? So I'm like, all right, this is a $50 order. Maybe they gonna tip me when I get there. Cool. Boom. I shot the shit over there, right? Man, I get over there to the house. Now, mind you, this is a house in the hood. Like I said, I done been at bars for a minute. I know how things work, I get to this house, the lights on, and it was a car in the driveway. So it looked like a legit house. You know what I'm saying? Man, I get out. I walk up to the door. Hold up. Let me throw this in there. I forgot about this part right here. So I told you I had my first car, right? Well, I've been working at Bob's for a minute now, and I was getting money. So I ended up buying the second car. So I stopped driving the first car, and I told y'all about that. I stopped driving the first car, and I gave it to my little homie on the block. You know what I'm saying? I let him drive that motherfucker while I was driving my new car. The new car I had I was financing it so I could build my credit. I was trying to get my life right early, but that shit went left. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, I was financing this car. It was a 1999 Mercury Sable. I know that sounds crazy, but I didn't have no credit, and this was my way to start building my credit. And the Sable was clean as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I had put rims on it. I painted it, all type of shit. I put sounds in it, man. I did the thing with that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But before I did all that, I had literally just got this car when this situation happened. My bad, that's the poet. I still had I'm tripping. I still had the paper plates, in the back windshield. Like, this how I knew the car was. I ain't even had got the regular plates yet. The place to put, you know, on the back of your car. I ain't even had got that plate yet. I still got the paper plate, right? So I get to the house. I'm in my new car. I'm about 18 and a half at this time, going on 19, right? Told you back then I was on that wild shit, you know. So the job kind of fitting because I was into that type of shit. I was with the shits. And this job is in my hood. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I know everybody around here just in case something pop off. Like, this is my hood. You know what I'm saying? Man, look, I hop out with all the food, the drinks, all that shit, right? I go walk up to the door. Now, when I get up to the door, knocking on the door, right? Ain't nobody answering. I turn around because in Detroit, you always got to watch your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? So I knock on the door and I turn around and see what the fuck going on around me, right? I see two niggas walking up the street, right? All right. I see them walk past. They kept moving. Turn back around. Knock on the door again. Not an answer. Turn around again. Two more niggas coming up the opposite way of the street. So this is a total of 4 niggas I done seen within the past 30 seconds to a minute. You know what I'm saying? Okay, turn around, knock for a third time. No answer. Mind you, the lights is on, car in the driveway, all type of shit, right? I turn around again for the third time. I see 2 more niggas. They come walking past the way the first 2 niggas went. So I didn't see a total of 6 niggas walk past me in under 2 minutes. No lie. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm suspicious. Like, yeah, something ain't right. You know, ain't nobody answering. I keep seeing all these niggas walking up and down the street. Let me call it off. I'm out of here. It ain't worth the tip. It ain't worth the delivery. Fuck that. Something not right. You know what I'm saying? So I went ahead, walked off the porch, right? While I'm walking off the porch, it was a damn van parked across the street, right? I didn't even peep that van when I pulled up. But it wasn't like the van pulled up while I was at the door or nothing. Like, that van had to be there. You know what I'm saying? And if it did pull up while I was knocking on the door, it pulled up fast as hell and quiet as hell. So I think it was already there. But I just didn't pay it no mind. Well, while I'm walking up the driveway to walk back to my car, the van that was across the street, I hear the back door open. I heard the back door slide open. Zoop. Niggas jump out that bitch. Zoop. Close. I see a whole bunch of niggas. It's about 10 niggas. You know what I'm saying? No lie. All of these niggas hopped out that van. They all started walking up towards me. All of them got bats in their hand. One of them had a long ass gun, right? I'm like, damn, these niggas had set me up on the play. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I got caught slipping in my hood, all type of shit. You know, I can't hurry up and make a call real quick, tell somebody to get over here because I'm trapped at this point. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I'm like, damn, these niggas got me. So they walking towards me, I'm walking towards them. I'm like, fuck, you know, I just got to deal with the fuck about to happen, you know? So I walk up to them. They stopped halfway in the street. The nigga with the gun, he raised the gun. He got it pointed at me. You know, he like, hand that shit over. So I hand him the food and the drinks. The homeboys, they took the shit. They going through everything. I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe that's all they wanted. I'm about to start walking towards the car, right? One of the niggas like, nah, man, take that nigga keys. We need that whip too, you know? Because at that time, that car wasn't even 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like brand new, but it was still like a newer car at that time. You know what I'm saying? So these niggas wanted my car, you know? And like, take his car. Woo woo. I turn around. I'm like, y'all ain't getting my car. Y'all just gonna have to shoot me for it. This is exactly what I told them. I'm like, y'all just gonna have to shoot me for it because I'm not about to just give you my car, you know? I'm in my head, I'm like, nigga, I just got this damn car. I'm trying to get my life right. Y'all niggas tweaking. If y'all want the food, y'all can have it. but y'all not about to take my car. That was my thinking back then. It was like, y'all just gonna have to plug me because you ain't just about to take this shit from me. You know what I'm saying? So one of the niggas with the bats, he telling his boy, man, shoot that nigga. He ain't gonna give his car up, shoot his ass. So dog got the gun pointed at me, right? While he got the gun pointed at me, I swear to God, my heart dropped down in my stomach. I'm like, damn, I'm about to die out here for this damn car, but I'm not about to let these niggas just rob me. You know what I'm saying? These niggas not about to just pull off on me and my shit like that. Like, I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? They gonna have to shoot me. I'm not going. Mind you, this was way before I got shot up and all of that. You know, I was just on that YN time. You feel me? So I'm like, fuck it. They just gonna have to blast me. So I'm standing there looking at them. Mind you, all them other niggas standing there with bats. They could have just beat the shit out of me, but they all standing there behind their mans with the gun. Even though all it take is the nigga with the gun, you know what I'm saying? But that's what they was on. I'm naked. I don't got no gun on me or none of that, you know. So they had me, right? Well, while the nigga holding the gun, he might have held the gun at me like this for probably like 5 to 10 seconds. And then he said, pow. And they all took off running. They all ran to that van and jumped in the van with the food and everything. They all took off running, jumped in the van, right? So while they go jump in the van, it didn't register at first. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? You know what I'm saying? And as I see them pulling off in the van, that's when it registered. Like, these niggas tried to rob me with a BB gun. You know what I'm saying? But since I wasn't going for it, they knew they couldn't shoot me for real, so they just took off. You know what I'm saying? When all them other niggas had bats, they could have beat the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? But they wasn't on that type of time. So they all jumped in the van, skirted off, right? I go jump in my car, right? I bust a U-turn. This was in the middle of the winter, so it's ice everywhere, it's snow, all of that shit, right? I bust a U-turn. I'm following these niggas. Now, where the delivery was at, it was like closer to 7 Mile, right? So when we bust the U-turn, we going back towards 6 Mile, right? While we going that way, I called the homies. Hey, these niggas just tried to rob me, woo, woo, woo. They like, where you at? I'm like, shit, I'm on such and such, you know what I'm saying? They like, all right, bet, we about to whoop up. I'm like, stay on the phone, because these niggas, they on the run, you know what I'm saying? So they stayed on the phone with me. I hear their cars starting up. They come to meet me, you feel me? Like, it was like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm chasing these niggas all through the hood. I'm telling the guys, hey, we turned this way, we went that way, woo, 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 woo. They like, all right, cool. Like, they got my coordinates and all of that, you know what I'm saying? I'm chasing the hell out these niggas. So they ended up going down this block named Braille. Braille off of 6 Mile running to the street called Santa Clara. Santa Clara is like a side street, you know what I'm saying? So when they come flying down Braille and I'm behind them, they run into the side street, Santa Clara. But Santa Clara end right there. So on Santa Clara, it's just houses. It's not a go-through street for like Braille to go through. Santa Clara cut, it's like a dead end right there. So it's just houses. So while they come flying down Braille, they damn near run into the houses on Santa Clara. You know what I'm saying? Sliding on the ice and all of that. They van damn near slid into the house. But it had the van stopped right before it had hit the house, right? The van stopped. They all jumped out, took off running, right? When they did that, I pulled up, I stopped, I jumped out. I ran to the van, right? I seen it was still running and shit. So I'm on the phone with the homies. I'm like, look, they jumped out the van. They all took off running. I'm like, look, y'all niggas pull up. Y'all can have this bitch. Like, we got a van. We about to put this bitch on the block. You know what I'm saying? They all laughing like, what? Them niggas took off running, woo, woo. I'm like, hell yeah. So I'm looking in the van. It was like 2 or 3 of the bats was still in the damn van. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, they done left the bats in this bitch and everything. I'm like, man, pull up. Come get this bitch. They laughing, right? I go to look in the front. The damn ammunition busted out. So they stole that bitch. So I'm on the phone with the homies. I'm like, look, well, we ain't taking this to the block. They done hotwired this bitch. I'm like, just pull up. You know what I'm saying? They pulled up. We out there. Couple of homies riding around the hood looking for these niggas. Couple of the homies was there at the scene with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling them how everything happened, all of that shit. Well, all of them niggas, they booked. They all got the fuck on, right? So they got on, went on about their business. I grabbed the bag out the motherfucking van. I jumped back in my car. The homies went back to the block. I went back to Bob's. They had took the food. These niggas was hungry. You know what I'm saying? They left their weapons and they stole for the food. Like, they was hungry. You know what I'm saying? And they was hopping gates and all of that with the goddamn food in the damn hot bag and the damn pops. Like, them niggas was hungry. You feel me? So they got that, cool. I ain't tripping on that. I just wasn't with them taking my shit. You feel me? So when I get back to Bob's, I walk in Bob's with the bat on my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? When I come in, they like, man, what took you so long? What happened? What you doing with this bat? Woo, woo. I'm like, that address, it was a Ball house. They tried to rob me. You know what I'm saying? They like, what? What happened? You know? So I'm telling them the story and shit. You know, I'm like, it was a setup. It was a Ball address. Don't nobody live at that house. The lights was just on. It was a car in the driveway. The niggas had a perfect spot to set a nigga up type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it be in the D. You know what I'm saying? Niggas will watch houses that's abandoned. But this how it go. So basically, sometimes people will get put out of houses, you know what I'm saying? And the landlord will leave the lights on to make it seem like somebody still live there. So when nobody break in there, you know, steal the hot water tank, you know, the copper piping, you know, things like that. Because, you know, the junkies coming for that shit. Washing machine, dryer, you know, whatever appliances you got in there, the junkies come and get that shit. You know, so most of the time when landlords put people out, they'll leave the lights on to make it seem like somebody still live there, you know. And pretty much this was one of them situations. Man, listen. They had the place set up, you know. And if I was one of them weak ass niggas or whatnot, you know, they just would have went for it, they would have got my car too. But at that time, again, I was on that YN shit too. So it wasn't happening, you know. And I could have died for this shit, you know, on some real shit. Like, I could have died behind a fucking car that, as life didn't progress for me, I didn't have 1,000 cars. You know what I'm saying? So if I would have known what I know now, if I would have known that back then, I wouldn't have put my life on the line. I just would have let them have it, you know. But back then, that car was precious to me. You know what I'm saying? I was on the rise of getting my life right, building my credit. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to step out the YN stage, but I'm still on the YN time. You feel me? So I wasn't with that, you know. But again, you know, like I told you, I never regret nothing that happened in my life, you know. So it was glad that I did stand my ground, because they didn't get it. They tried to rob me with a BB gun. It didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of times when niggas be out here robbing shit, I'm gonna just keep it 1,000, man. A lot of times when niggas be robbing shit, they don't be trying to kill people. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you got a bunch of wild ass young guys that don't give a fuck trying to kill shit. But back then, guys wasn't trying to really kill people during robberies. You know what I'm saying? They just wanted the merchandise and they was trying to get on. So I understood, you know, they whole play coming with the BB guns. They ain't want to hurt nobody. They just wanted what they wanted. The shit happened. It was what it was, you know. So anyway, I kept my life. I was straight. I was able to move on. So after I told them the story, we all laughed about it. And right after that, I went on to my next delivery and I kept going on by my day. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing happened. We just moved forward after that, you know? So I say this to say this. I say that to say this. Protect yourself at all times. If somebody want to rob you, let them have that shit, man. It's materialistic. You can get it back. It's never to where you need to put your life on the line. And I just told y'all how I put my life on the line for something that wasn't even worth it. So be careful with your life. If somebody want it, let them have it. You will get it back. It's been another episode of Roll Up a Pour Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured.